Good morning, everyone. I'm Lee Anderson, a member of the Parish Committee here at First Parish. Special welcome today to everyone online or in our beautiful sanctuary. We invite you to join us downstairs after the service for coffee and conversation. And today we have one of our monthly Parish Committee feedback sessions, and that's going to be in the Commons. If anybody wants to hear what's going on in the Parish Committee, and if you have any advice for us, we'd love to hear from you. If you're new with us or just want to start a conversation, please pick up a red mug like this, and we'll notice it, and someone will search you out in the Commons downstairs in the vestry. The vestry is the room below the sanctuary. Our mission is to build community, search for meaning, deepen our spirituality, and make a better world. If you have questions about First Parish or Unitarian Universalism, someone from our membership team will be at the welcome table during coffee hour to greet you and answer any questions. Reverend Lisa and Kate Holland, our Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration, are also available after service and would love to meet you. A big thanks to all our other service participants whose names are in our order of service. And please remember to silence your cell phones. Please join me now in taking a moment to say hello to one another, including a wave to those online, and the camera is over on that wall, I think. A heartfelt welcome to all. And now we have a special announcement from Dan Lewis and Jim Grumbach of our stewardship team.
Well, it's not as special as last week's announcement. I want to apologize for a few things that I said, but I won't go on at length. But I will pledge that I am the authentic Dan Lewis today, and while I tried to convince my partner Jim Grumbach to dress up as Kathy Schmidt, I failed. We got a great message, though, coming from our representatives. And in this season of much change, we have so much hope. We have as our icon a tree for First Parish, and we're busy planting seeds. How's that going, Jim?
That's going great, Dan. Thank you for inviting me to be here. And I am Jim Grumbach, believe me. I'm not Kathy Schmidt. I'm not going to try. I couldn't do her justice. We have assembled a large team of canvassers. We've been trained by a pro, and we've sent out mailings to the congregation, and we're hoping to meet with as many of you as we can. We have done very well in the first week. We've raised $97,760, which is 24% of our goal. And the canvassers have been tasked with reaching out to the congregants to solicit and bring back comments, thoughts, and feedback. So we're going to focus on that. And before I forget, you may make your pledges online at the website.
Excellent. Great news for a great season. We, as we head toward the wrap-up of Canvas, which will be on the 22nd of March, I'd like everybody to keep in mind that pledges made by the 20th enter you in a drawing that you would like to be a part of. And please take my urgency to be there present on the 22nd. This is our moment, and this is our way to celebrate what we will have accomplished. Congratulations for your work so far.
Thank you.
Let us now turn our hearts and minds to worship, and I invite Malcolm Astley to come up to light the chalice.
Good morning, I'm Malcolm Astley. I invite you to join in saying our covenant printed in the service program. With open minds and loving hearts, we gather to search for meaning, to care for one another, and to work together for a better world.
Thank you, choir. Very springy. The swingle. This is the swingle singers, right? Good morning. My name is Reverend Lisa Perrywood. I'm the interim minister here at First Parish. My pronouns are she and her. Today is the second Sunday of our stewardship campaign, as you just heard. The season of the year when we talk about something we New Englanders do not love talking about, money. Much like our Puritan ancestors, many of us still think of money as a necessary evil, something we need to have, but not a polite topic of conversation. But maybe we're just thinking about it the wrong way. What if we paid attention to all the good that money can do, the ways it brings us together, the positive feelings when we give, and the hope that it can bring to others? What if instead of worrying about counting our money, we pay attention to how we can count on each other? How here at First Parish for over 385 years we have counted on this place of worship, and how right here today we can count on love. If you're a fan of Mary Oliver's brilliant work, you will see the connection between what follows and her famous poem, Wild Geese. Mary Oliver's poem implores the reader not to worry so much about being good, but instead be true to nature and the beauty around it. As we reflect on giving and gratitude, let's not worry so much about giving perfectly, but about giving from a place of love. This is Wild Gifts by the Reverend Kaji Dosa. You do not have to give perfectly. You do not have to rack your mind, your bank account, your possibilities, and dry them up in the desert air. You have your despair, as do I. They are linked, they are reparable. If we speak from the love place and give from there too, imperfectly, imaginatively, prayerfully, true, your gifts have a place in the family of things. Thank you, Mary Oliver, for magnifying this. And now, dear friends, come into this sacred and beloved space we co-create each week, and let us worship together. In honor of International Women's Day, today we'll enjoy poems and some of our music created by women. The first of these is If Every Woman, composed by Karen McKay, with verses from Nancy Nordley. It's hymn number 1026 in your teal hymnal. Please rise in body and or spirit and join in singing.
Good morning. My name is Kate Holland. I'm the director of, I got a name change, Lifespan Religious Exploration, which I like that. So this morning, I usually have a story for you this time of day, but I had a really hard time finding a good story this week. So I have more of a kind of visual kind of thing to go with it. So Reverend Lisa, will you help me out? You want to come help too, Erin? Come on. You want to help hold it up? Awesome. So this is a quilt I was gifted, and I really love it. And like here, when I was a member of Sherburne, they used to have a lot of quilters as well. And 4 times a year, the quilters there would gather together in the room where they had their coffee hour, and it was a delight to see, because in would come the sewing machines, in would come all of the irons and the patterns, and everyone would share their fabrics, and they would go to work and they would make quilts. And they would make quilts what we call comfort shawls, so that if someone was ill or was having a hard time, they would give them to them and gift them to them. But they also made their quilts for the Project Linus that went to children that were in foster care. So it was wonderful to see. It was young and old. The kids were learning how to sew and how to iron the fabrics, but they all worked together. And so the quilt actually, for me, reminds me of how all of them came together, and they each brought something different. They brought different colors of fabric. They brought different skills. They all brought something different to the table when they were working on these quilts. But I'm going to have Lisa and Aaron change spots. The thing that I loved about the quilts that they made is that all of those differences, all of those different colors, all those different talents that they had, all came together, but they were held on the back by one color, one piece of fabric. So it feels to me that's very much like our congregation, right? So we are held together by one fabric, which is our Unitarian Universalism and the community that we make here. And then, you're going to switch again. I just like to make them switch. But then, all of us bring something different. We bring our own color, our talents, our gifts. We bring them here to hold together, to bring us and make us an even better community. So in stewardship time, I think that's why I really thought about the quilt and really thought of sometimes we all bring our gifts, but they're different. Sometimes your gift is just to be in this sanctuary and be a part of our community. Sometimes it's helping out on a committee. Sometimes it's teaching and seek. Sometimes it's singing in our choir. All of us, and sometimes it's money to help us run the lights and all of the other things. And so I think that this one, I really thought celebrated our time together during stewardship. So not a story, but kind of an allegory. Okay, so I'm going to invite, thank you very much. I'm going to invite our kids and their teachers to come on down to our seat classrooms. I'm going to invite the choir to sing us on out.
Each week we invite an offering to support the good works of our congregation. Our offering is a symbol of our commitment to this faith community and to the life of this congregation. Instructions on how to donate online are in the order of service. If you are here for the first time, please let the plate pass you by. You are our guest. As always, we receive your generosity with gratitude and in appreciation of all that sustains us. Your gifts strengthen this community, supporting all it does here within these walls, as well as all we do together to make the world a better place. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
I'm here because Jan Miner invited me to talk about my connection to First Parish. And she said, tell of how you found us or are fond of us or why you sustain us. There's a neat bit in the movie Notting Hill where Hugh Grant is simply walking along the street where his shop is located, and it appears to be continuous, but the seasons change around him until one full year with all its weather has flowed by. Reflecting on Jan's invitation to talk about how I found First Parish, or why I'm fond of First Parish, that scene came to me as a sort of analogy, because I can view the part I've played as a long continuum, or alternatively as a series of still frames, each with a different Susan contained in a picture where the surroundings are fixed, but the people gradually go and come. And I've been lots of different people here against the beloved background of this peaceful room, perched in the solid pews, surrounded by people whose lives genuinely matter to me, even if our practical overlap is small. I've been 4 years old and 60 years old. I've volunteered and committed and participated and shared what I could and taken what was offered and sometimes needed more. I've been disappointed and stayed away and returned and found a different way to connect and to feel connected, and listened and felt the touch of something vast and wondrous that felt like the light touch of transcendence here. It turns out that I've lived a life characterized by long associations, pretty much one town, one marriage, one job, the peculiarity of not finding those constraints too confining, the good fortune to have those possibilities available to me. One church, one consistent set of faith values, one extended family that is drawn into proximity with each other for an hour or so once a week, and then scatters again, back to our individual stories, drawing together and moving apart in a rhythm that mirrors breath. People I have loved here have been lost to age or illness or drifted away, and new people have approached and joined in and added their unique influence to what we are. The way we belong to each other and with each other in this shared community of choice mystifies me and inspires me and rewards me. It holds me and pushes me and makes me feel and helps me make sense of things. Being one mote in a constellation of people who choose to wish and wait for moments of inspiration or relief or comfort or joy, because those are the things that are best in the world, is part of the basic structure of who I am. I am here because I have chosen over and over to hold room, to make room in my life for all of you and our collective yearning for meaning. I am so very lucky that this community exists and that its belonging is freely offered to anyone who has a life they wish to share.
Good morning. My name is Kara Segi, and I am one of the new lay ministers of this congregation. This is a time in our service where we set aside to acknowledge the joys and sorrows that we all hold. In both our sharing and in our witness, we affirm our covenant to care for one another. As we face the uncertainty of the road ahead in our country and in our world, we light our vigil candle in solidarity with all those who are living in fear, especially those facing food insecurity, job loss, and other economic challenges. We offer our deep love for all beings, remembering that justice is what love looks like in public. May the love which abides in our community offer hope, strength, and peace in the days to come. If you have a personal joy not spoken, may we hold in our hearts those who have spoken, those they have named, and those we hold in silence. May it be so.
Please enjoy this music for meditation.
Our reading this morning is a poem by Atina Danner titled Generational Wealth. My grandmother was so tired that my mother was born tired. My mama's so tired that I'm tired right now, and I see my children getting tired, so it's time to put this to bed. I will gift time to my children. They will inherit a legacy of resting. Leisure time and vacation days taken, sick time used to nap and renew. I'll steal time and show them how to eat it raw. I'll say yes to my babies on the clock, show them how to tuck joy and stillness into the pockets of reclaimed life. When I accrue time, I let them see how I use it. When I take time, I give it to them and let them play. I save time in their names for them to practice how to protect it and spend it on rest. It has been said that the best things in life are free. untrue. The high cost of the best things in life is time. My progeny will know that time seeds restoration, how creativity is nurtured by time to play, how love is deepened by time together, how revolution needs time to imagine, how healing and growing are possible, and what it takes to rebuild broken skin and bone. That wellness is rest, is time, is wealth.
This morning centers on one important question. How much does First Parish mean to you? What are the gifts you receive by being part of this community? How has your life been changed or made better? How do we count the many ways we're connected here, the many people who touch our lives and our hearts? When times are hard or when things are good, where, with whom do we want to celebrate? Right here at First Parish, there are so many ways we count on our tender care for each other and the world, and so many ways we count on this community. At this time of year, as you know, we're doing calculations. The stewardship team is calculating how much we need to raise. Spoiler alert, just like everywhere else, it's more than last year. The finance folks are adding up budget items because, as we know, everything costs more each year, and each of us is being asked, how much can you give? Can you dig a little deeper, give a little more? We're invited to consider how much does this community, this place of connection and hope, this beautiful space, all that happens here and how our reach expands to the world, how much is this all worth to you? We're all counting. And honestly, we're counting on each other, counting on generosity, on kindness and hope. We're counting on love. Now, most, if not all of you, have received your pledge packets, and you know that with the costs of bringing on a new minister, supporting and hiring staff for our growing congregation, expanding our youth programs, and deepening our social justice work, everyone is being asked to dig a little deeper this year. Just to sustain what we already have will cost more, as we all well know from our own household budgets. This is our moment, says the stewardship team. Our moment to build and grow, to deepen our connections and broaden our work for the world. And for First Parish to sustain and grow, you're going to be asked to increase your pledge substantially this year. Okay, I know, some of you are already groaning inside yourselves. Increase my pledge substantially. I'm already giving every penny I can afford. And if that's you, I bet you'll recognize yourself in the story I'm about to tell. Or if that's not you, or if, like me, you're not sure, then perhaps this story will inspire you. It's a story that comes from our liberal congregational UCC cousins. This particular congregation decided to change their annual fundraising campaign one year. Instead of asking their members to give a certain amount based on what the church needed, they asked them to consider giving what they needed based on the grace in their lives. What does that mean, to give based on the grace in your life? Well, some people weren't sure. One long-term member went to the fund drive chair and asked by what percentage he should raise his pledge. He was a generous person and he liked to do the right thing. But this time, the fund drive chair simply said to him, "Please give the amount you need to give according to the blessings you feel you have received." Well, as it turned out, that man had had quite a year. He'd had successful heart surgery. His wife had retired and they were having a lot of fun together. They'd welcomed their first grandchild into the world. He decided to more than double his already generous gift to the church. It wasn't that the man felt like his church was somehow responsible for the blessings in his life, and it wasn't as if he felt like he was being favored by the Almighty because he was involved in the church. It was just that when he took the time to think about giving based on how he'd been blessed, he could suddenly see that his church was a conduit for blessing the world. He saw that by giving to his church, he could help keep blessings flowing in the world. The UCC minister who told this story concluded by saying, "Church is a different kind of organization. Not a club, not a social service agency, but a place where we practice living how we'd like the world to live. Not exactly to each according to their need, and from each according to their ability, but close." At First Parish, we call this shared ministry. It's all about how we support each other, the ways we worship and share our talents, all the amazing work we do in the world together. All of this is our shared responsibility. This is our church, our ministry. And unlike other faith traditions, we create, design, imagine, inspire, grow what church looks like for us and for future generations. And yes, it's also a place where we practice living how we'd like the world to live. It takes all of us, each doing our part, to make church happen, not just at stewardship time, but all the time. We are all together and all in. The work of building a church community is sacred work we keep choosing to do for and with each other. And at times, you may feel yourself distancing. Something changes. There might be missteps. Then the work is to keep choosing to come back again, to communicate, to work to make things even better. Welcoming new people, caring for your connections, repairing breaches, all of this builds the closeness that we have. We keep choosing each other, keep choosing love, and building trust. The way the world is going, there are fewer places for community. Recently, I heard a parent lament that once their youngest child graduated high school, they suddenly lost a community they had depended on. Those other parents, their families, the teachers and counselors and coaches they had leaned on for 12 years or more were no longer there, at least not on a weekly or daily basis. It's a regular loss that happens in our larger communities. And we need opportunities to build the beloved community we can count on for the long haul of life. Speaking of the long haul of life, I heard yesterday that blue whales, the largest mammal on Earth, who live 80 to 100 years as far as we know because we don't know much about them, were sighted off the New England coast for the first time in several years. Very, very rare sighting. And it reminded me of this essay by Brian Doyle. Consider the hummingbird for a long moment, says Doyle. A hummingbird's heart beats 10 times a second. A hummingbird's heart is a lot of the hummingbird. The first white explorers called them flying jewels. Hummingbirds came into the world only in the Americas, nowhere else in the universe. More than 300 species of them whirring and zooming and nectaring in Hummer time zones 9 times removed from ours, their hearts hammering faster than we could clearly hear if we pressed our elephantine ears to their infinitesimal chests. Every creature on Earth has approximately 2 billion heartbeats to spend in a lifetime. You can spend them slowly, like a tortoise, and live to be 200 years old, or you can spend them fast, like a hummingbird, and live to be 2 years old. The biggest heart in the world is inside the blue whale. It weighs more than 7 tons. It is as big as a room with 4 chambers. A child could walk around in it head high, bending only to step through the valves. The valves are as big as the swinging doors in a saloon. The house of a heart drives a creature 100 feet long. There are perhaps 10,000 blue whales in the world, living in every ocean on Earth, and of the largest animal who ever lived, we know nearly nothing. But we know this. The animals with the largest heart in the world travel in pairs, and their penetrating, moaning cries, their piercing, yearning tongue can be heard underwater for miles and miles. Mammals and birds have hearts with 4 chambers. Reptiles and turtles have hearts with 3 chambers. Fish have hearts with 2 chambers. Worms have hearts with 1 chamber, although they may have as many as 11 single-chambered hearts. Unicellular bacteria have no hearts at all, but even they have fluid eternally in motion, washing from one side of the cell to the other, swirling and whirling. No living being is without interior liquid motion, says Doyle. We all churn inside. I don't know about you, but Doyle's images just fill my heart with gratitude and love for all that pulses with life on this earth. We all churn inside. And it occurs to me that human beings are among the species whose hearts churn deeply for each other, that we are beings of love and devotion, that our hearts, from the moment of the earliest of our 2 million beats inside our mother's womb, are made to depend on each other, that our 2 billion heartbeats worth of devotion are mostly spent on relationships one way or another with our own or other species, that we are at our best, in fact, when we love abundantly and without reservation, and that we count on love to sustain us. I was reminded of this joke about how there was an earthquake, and the folks from the church came running out and started throwing money into it. A passerby asked what they were doing, and the answer was, because we always give to a fault. I know, it's a groaner, as they say. But the truth is, because of our love for each other, our witness in times of turmoil like now, giving our time to what we love and our resources to support what we think is important, that is what helps us live good, loving, giving lives. David Spangler, spiritual philosopher and self-described practical mystic, talked about the economics of spirit. He said that each of us exists as a result of the life gifts of each other. This is literally true biologically. We're the product of two cells surrendering themselves so a new combined cell may emerge. And we each nourish ourselves from the lives of other organisms, whether plants or animals. The happiest and most successful people, says Spangler, are often those who give themselves, their energy, their time, their ideas, their joy to others, without counting the cost or demanding equal recompense. Such people are sources of nourishment and empowerment for others. The result is not a diminishment of their resources, but the generation of a wider wholeness, which is in turn nourishing and replenishing for them. The one resource we do have in abundance, he goes on, one that renews itself through being used, is the resource of the innovativeness of the human mind and heart. This resource we can nourish in each other, the core of a spiritual economics. By so doing, we may ensure the success and the prosperity of our material economy as well. Spangler's spiritual economy is another version of the generational wealth that poet Atina Danner talks about. My progeny will know that time seeds restoration, how creativity is nurtured by time to play, how love is deepened by time together, how revolution needs time to imagine, how healing and growing are possible, and what it takes to rebuild broken skin and bone, that wellness is rest, is time, is wealth. One last story. During a winter storm, the power went out at the meeting house. A single chalice candle was lit, and members gathered close, sharing warmth and stories. One person brought tea from home, another offered blankets, someone else sang softly. The next day, a visitor who had been there sent a note with a check. I came for shelter, but I found a community. I want to help keep this light burning. Stewardship is about sustaining the light of love that we share, not just paying the bills, but paying it forward from generation to generation. This is our moment when we are leaning into each other's generosity, counting one beating heart at a time, keeping the lights on in the building and the light of our devotion to First Parish burning bright. For today and all the tomorrows and for generations to come, we are counting on each other. We are counting on love. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. We are about to rise and sing hymn number 1014 in the Teal hymnal. Some years ago, by request of the UUA Disability Caucus, we changed the words to answering the call of love. So even though it says standing on the side of, we now sing answering the call of love. One of these days, we'll put stickers in and change them in the hymnal as other congregations have done. So now, please rise as you are willing or able. Join in singing hymn number 1014, answering the call of love. These are the words of Michael Schuler. If you are proud of this church, become its advocate. If you are concerned for its future, share its message. If its values resonate deep within you, give it a measure of your devotion. This church cannot survive without your faith, your confidence, your enthusiasm. Its destiny, the larger hope, rests in your hands. Dear friends, take all of the love and light we have shared here this morning out into the world. Be a blessing to all those you meet, and may you, in turn, be blessed. May it be so. Amen.